I was doing a series with Eric Robinson, who was the leader of the BBC Orchestra, and he told me a little fib. He said that we were all going to meet outside the theatre and go on a mystery tour. So when this little van arrived, I got in it, and everyone was chatting and saying, "I wonder where we're going," and the windows were blackened out, and we couldn't see where we were going. So we were jogging along there, laughing, and they'd opened a bottle of champagne, and so we were having a glass of champagne, getting rather jolly. And then it stopped, and we all said, "Well, we get out now," and we got out, and I found myself backstage at the theatre. And so he said, "Oh, we're just going to watch something." So they sat me in the front row. And then when it started, Eamonn Andrews came down the steps and says, "Well, this is your life." And it was such a shock to me. I never thought of myself being included in that programme. I suppose that's why it was such a shock, on when it really happened. No, but I was very happy to, once I got over the shock of being on stage with all these people and meeting them again, because it's very interesting, and to think now, how do they find these people? How do they know the people that have been involved in one's life? And so, well, my daughter was in research for the BBC, so she had a rough idea how people find things out. Now, I think that was the programme where a young man came on that I'd met in Burma, and I'd visited two chaps in a tent. They were on their own because they were both poorly wounded, and this chap that turned up on This Is Your Life was one of them. And I thought, well, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know his name. I didn't know where he lived, where he came from. So I thought, well, how did they find all out about this chap, So it was a surprise to see him. The other boy, unfortunately, I heard didn't get back home. But it certainly, that was a surprise, because I didn't know. I couldn't have helped them at all in the research. So I wouldn't have known that the people at the BBC Research knew anything about the visit out in Burma. No, I mean, it's a programme that was of great interest to the public, because it gave an insight in the private lives of the artist or the person that's on the programme. And it was always very, very interesting. It was very popular, because people are always interested in other people's way of life. It's very gratifying to receive an honour yourself for what you've done in the past, but it's always interesting to see other people's lives and how and why they were honoured. And it's a fascinating programme, really. I used to enjoy it very much. I mean, it was a very important programme, and to be included in it was, I felt, an honour. And I was very happy and pleased to think that they'd considered having me in the programme. I used to watch it when I could, when I wasn't working or doing something. But it was certainly a surprise on both occasions.